Have you ever felt swept away by a storm of emotions? Maybe it's the flare of anger when someone cuts you off in traffic, the lingering sadness after a rough day, or the relentless anxiety over things you can't change. We've all been there. But what if I told you there's a way to step out of that storm, stand steady in its eye, and find true calm? That's the gift of Stoicism, not erasing emotions, but mastering them. Today, we'll uncover the secrets of Stoic philosophers like Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius to transform those crashing waves of feeling into a force that lifts you higher. You'll see that peace isn't out of reach, it's already within your grasp. Let's start with a simple truth. Emotions are human. Even the greatest Stoics didn't deny that. But they believed we too often let our feelings steer us instead of taking the wheel ourselves. Epictetus, a man who endured slavery, said it's not events that disturb us, but how we respond to them. Think about it. When you're furious because a coworker says something careless, what's really upsetting you? It's not their words. It's the story you spin in your mind. They don't respect me. I'm undervalued. Stoicism teaches you can rewrite that story. Next time emotions surge, pause for a second and ask, am I adding drama to this, or is it actually that simple? The answer might surprise you. Here's the beauty of it. You don't need to be a philosopher or a monk to do this. Marcus Aurelius, who ruled an empire through war and chaos, faced bad days too. In his journal, he wrote that every morning he braced himself. Today, I'll meet difficult people, but I won't let them rattle me. That's a practical exercise you can try right now. Before walking into a tense situation, a meeting with your boss, or an argument with a loved one, prepare yourself. Emotions might flare, but you decide how far they go. Now picture Seneca one morning, a wealthy philosopher who lived as if everything could vanish. One day, he got word that a cargo ship of his had sunk, a huge financial loss. If it were you, maybe you'd explode in anger or sink into despair. But Seneca just smiled and said, "Lost wealth doesn't make me poor. Only a troubled mind does that." He sat down, wrote a letter, and carried on. What's the secret? He'd trained himself to separate emotions from events. When something bad happened, instead of letting sadness or rage take over, he saw it as a lesson. You can do this too. Next time a plan falls apart, tell yourself it's a chance to practice patience. What makes this story unforgettable? It's the moment Seneca realized emotions are like guests. They come and go, but you don't have to let them move in. Stoics saw feelings as clouds drifting across the sky of your mind. You can't stop them from arriving, but you can choose not to chase them. Practice this, and life gets lighter. Not because everything's perfect, but because you're no longer tangled in unnecessary drama. Think of Epictetus again. As a slave, he had no control over his outer world, but he turned his mind into an unbreakable fortress. Once, when his master beat him, he didn't cry or curse. He quietly thought, "This is happening, and I'll bear it with dignity." That calm wasn't weakness, it was power. You can tap into this when facing criticism or a tough day. Instead of letting emotions drag you down, stand tall and say, "This won't define me." That's how you turn adversity into opportunity. So, how do you master emotions in today's world? First, try Marcus Aurelius' trick, see things from above. When anger or worry pulls you in, imagine rising up, looking down at your whole life. From that height, the current problem, a spat or a small mistake, shrinks against the bigger picture. I did this yesterday, stuck in traffic. Instead of fuming, I thought, a year from now, I won't even remember this. Instantly, I felt lighter. Next, name your emotions. The Stoics believed labeling something gives you power over it. If you're mad, don't just feel it. Say to yourself, "This is anger." When you do, it's no longer a vague monster. It's something you can handle. I've seen this work when someone let me down. Instead of stewing in sadness, I named it, took a deep breath, and moved on. Try it today with whatever feeling pops up. Finally, build a habit of reflection. Seneca spent a few minutes each night reviewing his day, where he lost his cool, where he held steady. He didn't beat himself up, he just noted it to grow. You can do this before bed. How did I handle stress today? What could I do better? It's a practical way to train your mind, step by step, until calm becomes who you are. Mastering emotions doesn't mean going numb. Stoicism doesn't ask you to stop laughing, crying, or loving. It teaches you not to let those feelings run your life. Start today with something small, maybe when someone annoys you, and test one of these tools. You'll find that peace isn't just an idea, it's a life you can live every day.